What's up? Got another trailer video here. I got to start off by apologizing to everyone who has been commenting on my first two videos. Those two came out like a little over 2 years ago now. I started this project like right at the beginning of COVID, like at the very beginning when all the first shutdowns happened. I work for a cabinet company and we shut down our shop for like 2 weeks. So I started this project, and because I had so much free time to work on it, I decided to start filming because I wanted to make a series of videos on how to build the whole thing. And then after the first two videos, I was starting to realize that trying to film everything while building everything was a lot of work. And I took some more video after the first two videos, but I kept forgetting to pull out the camera and take video constantly, so I didn't have enough to make a decent video. But yeah, so I'm gonna do an overview video of the thing. The trailer's done now, like 98% done. I thought I'd finish it, so I started March 2020, and I was planning to finish it by the end of summer in 2020. And then I ended up actually finishing like the middle of summer 21. But I did park it for the whole winter, like October through like February, March, just because I live in Seattle area and it's raining constantly and I don't have a big enough garage to work on it inside all winter. So I just put a cover on it and parked it for like 4 months. But yeah, so I'm gonna do an overview of this thing now. So here it is, completed trailer, almost 2.5 years later. My last video I left off, I was still welding up the bottom frame, and it's obviously came quite a ways since then. It's really dirty right now. It's got dust and some bird shit all over it, but should give you a good idea of how it looked when it was done. So let's see. I got so the whole body is made out of 1-inch square tube. The whole frame, the upper frame, is separate from the main frame. I didn't weld it together, I bolted it just because I wanted to paint this whole bottom frame separately. This is all 1-inch square tube as well. And then, so on the outside of the square tube here is 1/2-inch maple plywood, I believe I used. I got a deal on it from work, so I just used maple. And then the interior is 1/4-inch maple. And then I have 1-inch insulation in the walls and ceiling. And then on the floor, I believe I just did 1/2-inch. It's all rigid insulation. On the outside, I got storage cubby here, and on the other side there's a divider in the middle to keep stuff separated. Got a couple vents here because inside these cubbies would get really hot and humid, so I started to get a little bit of mold growth, so I wanted to vent it out because in the summer it was just like overheating like crazy. And this one over here is where all the electronics are, so I didn't want that to happen. These holes here were for a custom spare tire rack I made, but then after I got everything together, I decided to just keep the spare tire up there instead, so I've got some holes I gotta patch. This storage rack thing is mainly designed just for like big coolers or barbecue or whatever. This metal frame is screwed into the 1-inch square tube subframe, so it's strong enough to like tie down coolers or whatever, but it's not like super crazy strong. I wouldn't bolt anything crazy heavy to it. I got I think it's just a 100-watt solar panel. And then the doors, I got them used from someone on Craigslist, but I believe they're from Vintage Technology. I looked at their website and I found, I'm pretty sure, the same exact ones. The windows, I believe I got from eBay. You can actually find a lot of windows and stuff on there, and doors like that. I bought these doors. I got a pack of like 6 of them on eBay, and it was not very expensive, and I only used 2 of them. My original plan had doors right here on each side. They were supposed to go kind of under the countertop in the back, but then after I got into building it, I realized there was not going to be enough room for storage there with how low the counter needed to be. So I just ended up getting rid of that completely. I got a roof rack up here. If I can get out of the sun. Roof rack. This roof rack's from Amazon, and it comes in pieces, and you can get different sizes. The reason I got this one specifically is because of how wide it is. A lot of the other ones are a lot more narrow, and this one's like 4 feet wide. So that worked out really well. It was pretty cheap. I got my spare tire up there. I can keep an extra pop-up canopy, camp chairs, spare tire. You could probably fit some more stuff up here even too, but there's a lot of storage up here. On this side, I got the Iron Man 4x4 pull-out cover thing. I forget what it's called, but I can link it in the description. It's like a 6.5 foot long, and it comes out like 8 feet, and it's got 2 legs, and then there's some LED lights in there as well, which is nice. And then on this side, I've got a homemade solar shower that actually works really well. I don't remember how many gallons it holds exactly, but it holds quite a bit, and it gets really warm. It's just got a PVC cap here that's all glued in, and it holds pressure, and that's where you can fill it. And then I have a coiled hose that quick attaches right here with just a regular garden hose nozzle thing with the shower feature on it. And then this is where you connect your air to pressurize it. And for that, I have a little Milwaukee M12 inflator, and that inflates that thing within like a minute or less, which isn't too bad. And then, so this door I bought from Challenger Door, I believe, and it was a custom order. And I think total ended up being like $400. The door itself was like $2 something, and then shipping was like $199 or something like that. So it was around $400, but I couldn't find any other doors that were this size, and $400 for a nice custom door, not a bad deal. And I decided to just leave it the gloss black, even though it's covered in dust right now. It is gloss black. I thought about painting it to match, but decided to just leave it. I think it looks cool like that. I have a receiver hitch down there, and that's only for like if we want to have a bike rack. I wouldn't put anything heavier on there. Even a bike rack, I'd probably do an aluminum one or something. I built the fenders strong enough to stand on, which was a good call because I think while building this, I stood on these probably 500 times. I have these steps right here on either side as well. Let's see. Lighting. I've got a LED porch light here and on the other side. I got the clearance lights there on both sides. Got the red lights there on both sides. Got 3 of them there. Tail light, blinker, brake lights, and then a license plate light right there as well. I think that's it for the exterior stuff. I got a fan up there as well. I forget what brand it is, but I'll link it in the bottom. So let's look at the interior. So start off with these front cubbies here. Like I said before, I got 6 of these doors and only used 2 of them. And then I was able to just paint this to match the outside. I used Raptor liner, obviously, on here. So this side is all the electronics. I got my battery, my solar controller, a shutoff going from the solar to the battery, and then a shutoff shutting off the battery. And then I got my positive fuse box, and then negative bus there. And then that's the junction box for all of the trailer wiring for like the brake lights and everything. And then this is just extra storage space in here for random stuff that I don't need that often. And then, oh, that's the vent coming in from the outside. Works pretty well. I used some vinyl luxury plank flooring in here and in the inside of the cabin as well. I originally used the peel and stick kind, but because it got so hot in there, it peeled up immediately and started curling, so I just ripped it out and put in some vinyl. This side, there's nothing specific in here, it's just open storage. It's got a bunch of stuff shoved in here right now. One thing about these doors, they don't have a handle to turn, so the only way to like latch them closed is to lock it, which is kind of annoying. So I'd like to find like a handle that I can replace this with that locks. That way I can shut it and latch it without having to lock it every time. Let's go to the back. This door is nice. When ordering these doors from Challenger, you can choose which type of latch you want. I think they have a few different options. And you can choose how far open you want it. If you just want it 90 degrees. I think this was like 120 or something. But I wanted 120 because I'm tall. And if it was at 90, I'd be hitting my head every time. So this is what the back looks like. I was going to put a sink in, and then decided last minute I didn't really think I would use it enough to do it. But I still could. There's plenty of space under this countertop where you can add a sink and have all the plumbing underneath. I have LED strip lighting. It's probably kind of hard to see. LED strip lighting under both sides. I'll turn them on in a second. The switch panel here, this controls the strip lights, and then this one I'm going to set up to control the light and the awning, and the rest of these don't do anything. When I bought this, I thought I was going to have a lot more electronics for some reason, and then ended up having way less than I thought. This countertop, just it's one layer of plywood with buildup on the edge, and then this is like a Formica laminate that I put on. This is all just stuff left over from work that I was able to get. Same with all the plywood inside is pre-finished, which I was able to get through work. That's why it's all kind of shiny. I didn't finish any of this, it was all pre-finished. I got two cabinets here. I don't have any handles on here yet because I'm not really sure what I want to do. I want to do a magnetic latch to hold it closed, but I haven't figured out how to do it yet. But yeah, a decent amount of storage in both of these. Just got a bunch of stuff shoved in right now. We haven't used this thing in a while. And then, let me turn on the power and then I can show the lights. It's kind of sunny out right now, so you can't really see, probably. Yeah, it's really bright out, but when it's dark, these are really bright and light up everything, so it's a really nice working area. Let's check inside. I'll turn on these outside. Yeah, it's really bright out, but this thing's super bright. I kind of wish it was a little less bright, but it works. So, interior, it's just big enough for like a normal queen size mattress almost. This is a queen size foam. Not including, if you can go past these, it's a full queen mattress, but these kind of mess it up. I've been meaning to just trim this foam to fit around this perfectly, and I just haven't done it yet. But we got two switches over there, one for the interior puck lights, there's 4 of them, and then one for the porch light on the outside, and then on this side there's just one for the porch light. And then I got these 2 lights here. One dot is this little, if you touch it once you get this little blue like night light thing. I touch it again, you got a nice reading light. These are sweet. They also have a USB port on the side to plug in your phone or whatever. I got, my wife put up these like cheap dollar store string light deals that are falling. This piece of plywood is loose, that's why it looks like that. I gotta reattach that. I got the fan. I don't remember, I believe it's a Max Air fan or whatever, like one of the cheaper ones. They have those other ones that stick up really high on top, but I didn't really like the look of those, so I wanted like the slimmer looking one, like this. It works great. We've slept in this when it's like 100 out, and we were comfortable. It's not too bad at all with no AC. Back there, I got USB ports, 12-volt port, giving my battery voltage so I can lay in here at night and see if my battery's getting low. Got this iPad mount, so we can lay in here at night and watch stuff on the iPad if we're really bored or if the weather's crappy. I got a little USB fan just for a little extra circulation in here. But like I said, with the vents open, windows open, and the fan on up here, it's really comfortable. It's not bad at all. I think that insulating this helps a lot. I see a lot of people build these trailers just with 3/4 inch plywood walls and no insulation, and I definitely wanted to insulate this because I figured we'd use it kind of year round. And yeah, sleeping in this thing in the summer when it's 100 is definitely comfortable. Not bad at all. I haven't slept in it in the winter yet though. This is just a big flip up door down there, and behind that is just like a bunch of wiring and stuff. You could store some things down there if you really wanted to, but we don't really have anything to put back there. Storage cubby's up here. It's closed inside. I've got a bunch of wiring back there, but it's easy to get to that from the back side if I need to, which is nice. Let's see. I designed this thing so this whole panel can kind of pop out really easily, and you can get to all the wiring to add stuff or whatever. And then there's some space up above these to run wires if needed, which is nice. And then, like I said, there's a bunch of space under this to run wiring or whatever, or add a sink later if we decide. Oh, we got these nice LED reverse lights as well. I thought about hooking them up to a switch to use also, so like reverse and switched, but they're super bright and I don't think we'd really need them switched for anything. If you're in a campsite at night and you have these strip lights on, it's pretty bright. It's not too bad at all. And the nice thing is it's not like lit up right in your face, so you can stand here and do stuff and you're not getting blinded trying to work. I just got these water jugs for water for now. We don't really need a sink. I usually just keep those up. I keep one either on the roof rack or in the back of my truck. Trying to think of what else. I got 33-inch tires. I believe those were Jeep wheels that I just painted. I believe that's it. I'm going to link everything in the description as much as I can find. And if I'm missing something that you're interested in, let me know. Or if you have any questions, let me know. Definitely, I'd say one of the biggest mistakes I made on this thing, for sure, is I went Raptor liner straight on the plywood. And that was probably the biggest mistake. I think I spent a couple months fixing things just because of that. The Raptor, I don't know if it's the Raptor liner that shrank or what, but pretty much all the seams of the plywood here under this trim, a lot of them started to split, and then there's like some seams here that started to split because this whole side is like 9 feet long, so I seamed it right here and it's starting to split a bit, so I'm gonna go through and fix all the cracking, and then I'm probably gonna respray the whole thing, and I might do a different color. I'm thinking like a military tan, like desert tan would look really cool, but I'm not really sure yet. But yeah, there's like some random cracking in spots in the plywood. If I would have fiberglassed the whole body and then Raptor lined, I would have had way less issues. All this metal trim I was not planning on doing in the beginning, and the only reason I did was to help cover up a lot of the splitting. I went through and fixed a lot of the splitting and filled it in, and then all these trim, I used like thin VHB tape on either side on the edge, and then inside on both sides I did a bunch of sealant all the way down everywhere. So the VHB tape should keep most moisture out, but if any moisture gets past that, there's a shit ton of sealant in there to keep everything contained. But yeah, if I could go back and do this again, I would fiberglass the whole thing and save a whole bunch of extra work. But yeah, it's super dirty, but this is it. I'm probably gonna go through and repaint it and clean it up. I'll probably repaint some of the black stuff because it's just getting kind of beat up and dirty. I'll probably do a video about that. I'll probably just spray it with more Raptor liner just to make sure it's really durable. I probably could do regular paint over this, but Raptor will help kind of hide some of the imperfections. So yeah, this is it. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I'll link as much as I can in the description. And thanks for watching. I just wanted to show off this cover I got for this really quick too. It's from Amazon, and it's just like a generic cover for like any trailer this size or whatever, but it actually fits pretty well. Like, it's obviously baggy up here, but it fits just enough over the front and back where it stays tight most of the time. It's got elastic on the corners to keep it underneath. It's got vents here to keep let the hot air out if it gets really hot. It's got zippers on the back two corners so you can unzip it and get it loose. It's got tie down deals so you can tie it down if it's super windy or whatever. Zipper on the side here for a door. I thought it had zipper on both sides, but I guess it's only this side. But yeah, works pretty good. I've had this cover for like 2 years as well. It's ripped a little bit, like the top's kind of thin, and I got like stuff on top that's kind of pointy, so it's ripped a bit in the wind because we get really crazy wind here. But other than that, it works pretty good, and it keeps everything pretty much dry. I also, for the last year, I've had it under this cover, but before that, it was out in the open in the rain, and I live in Seattle where there's a shit ton of rain, so, or near Seattle. But yeah, I'll link this as well.